Hello, this is Mike with Advertising Report Card, and today we're going to roll through heat maps and how you can use them for conversion rate optimization on landing pages to make sure that every click you get is closer to the conversion. And also, we're going to talk about user experience and how they navigate the website, not how you're expecting them to navigate the website. Google Analytics is good because it shows data. What it won't show you is the true user experience. So let's dive in immediately with this very first video. This is for a moving company. Let me move my face here. This is for a moving company, and this is a landing page that they get sent to on mobile. They skipped past the form and they started scrolling down directly to the services grid. The services grid is all the services looked at on the landing page. These are not links, but you can see that person clicked the actual service on the service grid on mobile, meaning they came to this area on mobile and clicked on this. Since this is a landing page, this doesn't link anywhere. The goal of this is literally just to list what it is that we do, but the user wanted to select a service before filling out a form or placing a phone call. So in this instance, what we'd want to have is all of these images and text link back to the form. So that in itself is a quick insight that you can gather just from one user and one experience that's been recorded on this. Let's go through a couple more and find some other items that are pretty interesting that I want to share. So this is a very active user. You can see that they're scrolling around here trying to find out what to do. And you can see that they immediately moved to the form and hit the drop down button. But it didn't look like it worked. So they scrolled off, scrolled back to go click the menu again to then make a proper selection. We didn't see the drop down menu there because it's a screen recording. Now what they're doing is making their other selections on this form. You can see the drop down now. They're selecting where they're coming from. And they're continuing their way through the form. This happened on September 8th, 2023 at 10:55 a.m. So you can also track and see, with that being said, what they did, when it happened, where they were in the world, things of that nature. This actual whole recording here is 7 minutes. What I wanted to get to, and we can speed up a little bit, is going through the user experience. They get to this section where they can enter in their information. They go back, they change the info again. Now they're asking for the name, phone number, and email. They enter in their name, email, and phone number. Now they hit get quote. There was a problem with the submission. They didn't put the phone number in correctly, or they, wait, let's see, properly did. So that was a recording of a proper conversion. So that's exciting. We can track that conversion through this user experience. So that's what it looks like when things go correctly. One thing you can discern from this is the form wouldn't let them pass unless the phone number was accurate, meaning if somebody made an error on their form somewhere, they might not get it to submit. So looking at the form problems, definitely something you want to look into. This happened again on this page. This person decided that they wanted a commercial moving quote, a very good quote to get when the moving industry. They clicked the button twice. I can slow that down again just to show. And it didn't lead anywhere. So what did they do? Instead of going up and filling out the form or placing a phone call, they considered that button broken and then continued to look through the page to see if this is somebody that they want to work with. And based off of the interaction that you can see here, they decided against that and they went back. So let's consider what to be done there. Again, those buttons need to lead to the form so that people can then fill out the information. It might not be enough, is the thing too, is if we just take those buttons and link back to the form, they wanted to see some information about that service. The best thing we could have done is sent them to a service page regarding that, but then if we're sending traffic to a landing page where we're only supposed to track conversions from that landing page, what do? Well, with Google Ads tracking scripts, you're supposed to be able to track across all pages. In this instance, the instruction was to only track on that page, which is something that we need to change. Not only do we want to change that, but we also want to make sure that we're tracking across the entire site when someone wants to click off, and we're linking to the pages that they want to read about before they decide to convert. If somebody clicked that commercial moving button and then went to the commercial moving page and read the information that made them feel safe and that this is the company they want to work with, that could have been a super valuable lead. But instead, we're trying to control people's experience on one landing page so that we can track the old-fashioned way of just track conversions on this page. Everything else we can't track. That's not the case anymore with Google Tag Manager and proper tracking scripts. I wanted to show this one real quick because this is interesting. This person was on this landing page on their desktop and clicked the call button. Now I want to talk about an interesting solution for this. When somebody clicks that call button on their desktop, it can mess up the tracking because it can issue a FaceTime request to that phone number or a Skype request because, unfortunately, based off of browser technology, that's what Google Chrome and a lot of other browsers will initiate. They're not going to say, push this to your phone. We're just not there yet. What you can do is on desktop with these phone call buttons is if somebody on desktop clicks them and it moves to FaceTime or Skype, instead of that, throw a pop-up and say, call this number now on your phone. If you'd like us to call you, fill out your information and we'll call you right back. And then you're getting a partial form fill, which would have been the equivalent of what you would have received if they gave you a phone call, because all you're going to get at the very best is their phone number and then probably some caller ID data, which is usually not that great. I'm sure everyone's seen that come through on their own personal phone. So this is a really, really interesting user experience. I wish I could highlight all these individually. I probably should make individual videos, but ain't nobody got time to go through 10 different videos. So I'm going to put this all in one. We're going to cut this off at 10 minutes because there's a lot of experience here. So first of all, this person's looking to see the services. They're going through the landing page. They're trying to see what's going on. They scroll from the top to the bottom after reviewing all of the different services to see what all is in the page. They're validating that this company is someone they want to work with, right? What do? Click the logo in the top left of the screen. What's that going to do? It's going to bring them to the home page of the website because that's the nav bar and that logo brings them. Now they go to services. They go to local moving. We're trying to drive long distance traffic. This person somehow typed long distance, but what they really wanted was a local moving company, which is interesting, right? So with that being said, you can kind of tell this person might not be the best at moving around on a website. Reason being is that where they ended up after navigating through the site is the Senior Movers Florida landing page, right? So they went from residential and now they're going to another section of the site. So with that being said, let's go through a couple other items here. This looks like a tablet, so this person clicked an ad and landed on the tablet landing page. Not a huge fan. We always bid down on these keywords because tablet conversions typically have a lower conversion rate. So we don't usually bid on that, or if we do, we're going to cut that cost in half. Still got that traffic. Let's see if we get a conversion from it. Click is coming up here shortly. What did they click on? Forbes. They wanted to see if these news links were legit. He clicked the Forbes links on this 3 times, didn't go anywhere. In this instance, what you can do is have it open in a new tab, whatever validation you have from these news links, okay? So having validation on the landing page, very important. But if they don't go anywhere, people are going to think it's fake, especially with the BBB. We have a couple of them in here where people were clicking on that BBB link. So things to consider. Send them to another page, but leave your page open so that when they get sent to Forbes, if they close that tab out, your landing page is still there. Next, what we have here is a mobile. You can see here that this is coming in on September 2nd, and they're going through the mobile process of converting with the form. You're not seeing the drop-down pop open as they click through it. Reason being is the recording doesn't always show that. Let's fast forward a bit. You can see here in the user experience that sometimes the page moves up and down as you go through the forms based off of the size of the form as you go through each option. So user experience on the form itself, very important to account for. We have here another person that had a little bit of a struggle with the drop down, had to click the item again, move to the next section. Now they're going to pick their address to find out where they're going to go. We're going to skip past this and we're going to go to this next section where they click next. This person fell off at the room selection page. They wanted to just get an estimate. They didn't want to answer all these questions. The form was too long, they lost interest, and they left the website. Let's keep it going, right? See some more interesting recordings. I'm not going to stop it yet. We're going to keep going. So this is mobile. They're converting on the form. They've selected the amount of rooms here. Now we're asking for their full name, phone number, and email. This person paused. They said, okay, I'm not ready to give all my information yet. Who is this company? I thought I was getting an estimate. This is a common problem with estimate forms on landing pages, is people just want to go in and see what the general amount of the money is going to be without giving their information. What this person is doing now is they're trying to validate the company to see if they want to give their name, phone number, and email to them. People that have even a limited amount of experience online know sometimes you give your information to the wrong person, you'll never hear the end of it. You'll get calls. You'll get 10 calls a day, spam calls. Everybody gets spam calls and spam email. People are adverse to giving their information out. Let's go to the next one. We got to click on the next. This person did not select a field. They just wanted to get to the next step of the estimate. They left the website for 3 minutes, came back, decided to try the estimate again, decided not to move forward with it because I couldn't get to the rest of the form. Wanted to highlight that this is another example of the prior, so we're not going to wait too long on this one. We're going to just dive right in. This individual went to the landing page, and then they clicked the logo at the top of the landing page to go to the main home page. You can see here on the entry and also on the exit. That's the activity that they engaged in. And it looks like they spent a lot of time on the page too. Next, let's look at this next interesting one here. Went to the landing page, decided if they're going to make a call or not. Read through the landing page, was on the page for about 2 minutes. Decided to click on the logo to go to the home page of the website instead of the Google Ads landing page. As you can see here, there's a trend forming where conversions are happening on that page. Let me see what else I can find here before I get off of this. Conversions are happening, but they're not always happening in the consistent place. Likewise, the user experience of these conversions isn't consistent either. So I wanted to show that these things vary greatly, and it's important to have an understanding of how you're supposed to be tracking these individual leads. You can't just rely on one landing page and track one form and one phone number on one landing page and expect to track all traffic, especially if people want to go to different pages or if there's areas on that page that link to different areas. I hope this video has been helpful, giving you some tips on some things that we can fix on the landing pages to get better conversions.